Traxxas has been busy creating and releasing their next-gen line of vehicles, equipped with cool and unique features like self-riding and clipless bodies. And the latest vehicle to join that next-gen family is here, offering aggressive monster truck styling and big aggressive tires that help it pop tons of wheelies and even bunny hop. Today we're checking out the all-new Hoss VXL here in the studio, then we'll speed test it, bunny hop it up some curbs, and then we'll try some backflips. As many of you know, the all-new Traxxas Hoss is a pre-assembled, ready-to-run 1/10 scale monster truck that is 4-wheel drive and includes brushless electronics. Out of the box, you receive the truck, painted Pro Graphics body, the instructions, some basic tools, and the TQI transmitter. You do need to provide some items yourself though, like a 2S or a 3S Traxxas LiPo battery with ID connector, and then the transmitter requires 4 AA batteries. And after that, you and the Hoss are ready to roll, and roll the Hoss does because it has some pretty nice features. Now for starters, the Hoss styling and aggressiveness are inspired by the large-scale X-Max and Max monster trucks, but the chassis is based around the stout and lightweight Rustler 4x4 platform, which makes the Hoss a little bit easier to carry, a little better for beginners, and a lot easier to store and work on. But the Hoss isn't just a Rustler 4x4 at all. The Hoss has been upgraded for hard-hitting monster truck action. For one, it features the upgraded 540 XL motor that comes included with the larger Max for effortless wheelies and increased bottom end torque. The spur gear included with the Hoss is even metal, where similar models include plastic spur gears. And the Hoss even includes a proper center differential that Traxxas calls the torque biasing center drive, and it's filled with 500,000 weight fluid. The front and rear gearboxes also have proper gear differentials with 50,000 weight fluid in the front and grease in the rear. And all diffs have steel gears. The Hoss even includes the Traxxas heavy-duty suspension arms, where those are offered as an option part for some of the other Traxxas models, but come as standard equipment on the Hoss. And then lastly, the Hoss includes the all-new 2.8-inch sledgehammer tires that are kind of moto-esque, and they're mounted on black chrome wheels with 12mm hexes. Now I mentioned this being a next-gen Traxxas vehicle, which is kind of defined by having two main features. The first is the self-riding feature, which the truck will self-ride itself after holding down the set button on the transmitter. And the second main feature is the use of the no body clip design. Now as of today, when we film this, the only vehicles that fall under that next-gen category are going to be the X-Max, the e-Revo 2.0, the Max, and then lastly the Rustler 4x4. But the Hoss has joined the party. Now one thing I want to point out, because they'll save you a lot of money in the long run, are all the plastic pieces mounted on the body, which is something that comes with these next-gen trucks. Now these pieces are there for a really good reason. Having the roof skid plate and the tailgate skid plate will really help your body last longer from all the flips, the tumbles, and the road rash. They should really help your body last twice as long. Those pieces, along with the underside bracing, also assist with the self-riding feature to keep the body rigid, so the vehicle can rock back and forth and get back on its wheels. Now enough jibber jabber, I think we should drive, and the main question is, how fast is the Hoss? Well, we strapped in a 3-cell LiPo and went for it with the box stock gearing, which should reach a top speed of 40 miles an hour. To avoid the speed wobbles during speed runs, we also turned down the TSM, Traxxas Stability Management, and after a few passes, we achieved a top speed of 39 miles per hour. The stock gearing is rated for 40 on a 3S. We hit 39, and that's pretty much 40. Now after the speed pass, I couldn't wait to try out some bunny hops. One thing to note here, even on the high traction surface, the truck would slide when cornering fast and not traction roll. I think a lot of this is due to the extra width and balance of the truck, and the rubber compound of the tires is pretty hard. Alright, enough of this. We headed over to our local Silver Dollar RC Raceway and busted out the ramp to jump and bash around. Funny enough, there was another guy hitting the jumps on the track with his Traxxas Max.
Wearing the same shirt, blue shorts, blue pants.
Yeah, we put like 60
Black
and
shoes.
80 weight in there.
And somehow we dressed like twinsies. This looks like the start of a beautiful Traxxas bromance.
The body popped off.
Next, we wanted to hit the hip jump on the track and see if we could backflip it.
Whoa, holy smokes.
I wasn't expecting it to go that high, dude. It went out of frame.
It's all right. We try it again. It'd be nice to make it nice and slick and just downside it all proper. I hit that one harder.
Yeah.
Looks like we busted out the little earpiece or eyelet here on the drive shaft. Just pulled right out of the little metal pin, essentially. Kind of just ripped it. It's kind of a bummer. Never had that happen before with these plastic drive shafts, but we were landing from big heights, and on the throttle when landing is pretty tough on the vehicle. So yeah, I'm not sure. It's an easy fix. I don't think these plastic drive shafts are very expensive, but yeah, that's what happened. I'm bummed I broke that. I don't blame the truck for that. Jumping the truck off of that height and landing it, it's really hard on the truck. It's not really meant for that, so I kind of got what I asked for.
So after reviewing the footage, the drive shaft totally broke after landing on that pipe, because you can kind of see the front tires were forced to turn violently, and it just basically overextended the drive shaft, ripping the pin right out of the plastic. The Hoss probably dropped anywhere from 10 to 15 feet right on that pipe. But the break is not the truck's fault or the drive shaft's fault. I'm certain had we not landed on that pipe, the truck would have driven away from that landing. Now that drive shaft was only $12 to replace, and it took about 7 minutes to do it. But I definitely feel like an idiot for breaking the truck, because it took some really hard hits without issue, except for the front of the body popping off once. But driving the Hoss is a lot of fun. These hard knobby tires slide on the pavement, but when you go into soft dirt, they definitely dig in and give you a lot more traction and side bite. If you go fast enough on soft dirt, it will traction roll. The shocks on the Hoss are the Traxxas Ultra shocks, and they've been around a while, and I've seen a lot of people online complain about them being on the Hoss. But the shocks are set up really well with heavier shock fluid, so the suspension feels really plush, and the Hoss handles jumping and landing from big jumps impressively. And with that heavier fluid, a lightweight but high CG chassis, when you're driving on the surface, the Hoss very much feels like it's skimming along the top, just waiting to pop a wheelie for you. And after everything we put the Hoss through, none of the shock caps popped off, none of the shock shafts bent, and not even one shock is leaking fluid. So we had a lot of fun with the Hoss, and I think it's a great addition to sit in between the Rustler 4x4 and the Max in terms of weight, capabilities, and price. With the Rustler 4x4 VXL being about $400, the Hoss sitting at about $470, and then the Max is $550 at the time we filmed this. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave us any questions or comments down below. I'm Brett from AMain Hobbies. Thanks for watching.